we've got species diversity, monkeys in Africa. We're playing on the board where you do a standard enclosure around one of these and you close it, you get extra points, 2 points per, so releases work pretty well on this board. Not a fan. Nice to not have to discard cards. However, this one's probably the best of the three. If I got a bad sponsor, I can just trash it for 4. If I for some reason decide to upgrade the sponsors, I can play them a little cheaper by discarding a card. I don't know. Maybe dumping a sponsor for 4 that I can't play is reasonable. This one's not terrible either. Alright, so my options are discard a sponsor to take a sponsor from the display, or when I've already got a sponsor one here, or build an extra kiosk. I will choose to build an extra kiosk. Ugh, that one's awful. Yeah, I almost never want to do either of those things. I mean, maybe the upgraded one, you get a card instead of a donation when the donation's $12 or something, but I'm going to keep these two. All right, for some sake of expediency, I have already highlighted the cards that I wish to keep. My brown cards, this is likely the one I'll be focusing on. I do have the build that allows me to build the extra kiosks, so that should be helpful. And this one generally isn't good. All right, so typically I'd like to go species diversity quickly, potentially before the first break. I've got this herpetologist, which is great for species diversity, so I'm keeping that, and I'll be able to play that right away if I want. The other thing, I've got 2 cards with Africa. However, both of them have a prerequisite, and I really probably need to grab the Africa tag. I go second, and all 3 of us can do it. Somebody may grab a monkey instead. Somebody may try to monkey tag with a building. Somebody might want to do any tag just to give them a third. I don't know. There's also a 3rd player game, so I can wait on species diversity and go for the 5 if I want, provided I can get something else done. I debated between these 2 as the last one. This has the different tag though, so I went with it. This would effectively cost 1 other than the enclosure, and it's one that I could put by here, get an extra couple points. I can do the same thing with this though as well. So these are the 4 that I'm going to go with. These 3 are just too big, and like maybe late game they're great, but well, a couple of them are great. This one I don't know. I don't have a lot of use for this emu. It sucks. Other than that, it's pretty decent draw. All right, so the first player took an X token and put this all the way down. Presumably he's going to want to run it before the break. My guess would be species diversity, but we'll see. All right, at any rate, I have the opportunity. I'm going to grab the Africa tag. So I think clearly I'm not going to be able to do this, but I have the tag, so I can do either of these animals. They're going to cost me 20 combined. Their enclosure is going to cost 10. That's going to put me to 15. I can get $3 for this, and then $3 for this, getting me back to 21. So I can put both of these guys out. I won't be able to do the bonus extra kiosk. Well, I really want to. I'd rather have both of these guys out with the first animal play. So that being said, that means I need to build my 3 enclosure first. Now, I'm going to put it here, swing it here so it touches this. Then I'll play my sponsor, and then I'll build. Oh, I do not want to do this. Sorry. Iterate. Then I'll build my do the sponsor, and then I'll have my build up to 2, and I can put it there. All right, so let's play our. I do not want to discard it. I want to play our herpetologist. Build a 2 again next to this thing here. As far as the card, I've got the option of this, which is decent for endgame, but I want something now. So I'm going to draw 1 card from the deck and hope it's better. Let's see. Alright, so this is actually pretty nice. It gives us a green tag, as well as it'll fit into the aquatic center that we're going to build for this. So each of these takes 1, so not bad. And again, I can't build that because if I do, that'll put me to $15, and this is only going to get me 3 back. So I need $17, and I have 18. All right, I don't think the red player would end it. I think he might use the X tokens to up his association, or maybe do something else first. But he could end it if I grab 4 cards, I bring it up to 9. He's got it set. He might want to end it because he doesn't have any money. I don't want to risk a break, so I'm just going to drop my cards, get it out of there for an X token. And the X token will be handy anyway. Alright, so I'm going to play my 2 animals. Got to play the jumping cat first, which will cause the break. So I'm going to get the X token for that. Happy day. And then we'll play the monkey. I don't get to pilfer, but that's okay. I do get both tags, which I need. All right, so I'm able to play the association. I'm going to do Africa. I want to hang on to species diversity on. Red has none, blue has 1, so I should be able to get it at the 5 before these guys do, so we'll see. My meeple. I want to upgrade build. All right. All right. I've got a couple things that I've got issues with here. I do want to do a build. I would like to be able to get to here, but I would also like to clever this thing. So there lies a rub there. And this is a nice, easy-ish 5th. It would be a 5th for me because I'm going to put an aquatic out at some point soon. So I've got to save some money so I can play one of these 2. But I'd like to get here. So if I get to here, then I'll have enough money back because I'll pay 10 and I'll get back 5. So I'll be at 11. I could play either one of them. I think that's what I'm going to do and ignore this clever for now. Maybe I'll just grab money. I'm going to start with the freebie. I'm going to build this guy. I don't have any to pull out, so I could do it either way. Let's actually do this first. And this, that way we're already touching 2 instead of just 1. All right, so I'm at $11. I've got that down. I can get more if I need it, and I can conceivably play 2 because I can sell off one of these, but instead, what I might do is I might just snap this using an X token and then play it using another X token. That's also a thought. I know I could sell those, but I kind of want to get this guy down. We'll see, though. All right, I think I'm going to opt for taking money and seeing what happens. I really don't want to spend 2 X tokens to snap and play a card that will let me draw some cards but doesn't give me any points. And we'll see, maybe I'll snap it and then play it later. That way I at least save an X token. I may just play 2 animals by selling one of my tokens. And that would put me at $21, and I need only 20. All right, I'm going to need science building for this aquatic animal. So I think I'm going to... I don't want to spend 2 X tokens. I'm just going to take cards. I could take this. He's reasonably good. He's six points. I'm getting potentially some money back for him if I want to go that route. He's got to be by the water though. I prefer to have somebody by here. This guy's pretty good. This guy's probably just decidedly better though. That being said, I think I'm just going to take 2 random cards and hope that I can... I don't think I'm going to be able to get those guys out. Because I've got to do the association first. All right, we'll see if blue does anything. So I'm going to take cards. Just take any cards. Maybe I'll get something better. All right. Well, now I have an actual second animal I can play, and I can just forego having to do that. This is... I've got to sell one of these, so I'm just going to keep this one to sell, and I'm going to dump this thing. All right, so I do have a meeple. I can do a building, and again, this building would be nice to get a 5th tag. These guys I'm going to be playing anyway for the 4th, so it would be a 5th one. There's a chance for a break. I mean, I don't see any reason why the red player wouldn't break. So I kind of want to get these guys out for another couple income, and so as to not lose any cards. So if I did take this, I'd have a 5th card, and if there was a break, I'd have to drop 2 cards. I'd rather play these. I can always ship him off. Well, unless somebody beats me to it. Blue, does blue have one? Can't right now, but and only 2 tickets on this is good for any sort of release. Now it'd be better if I could open up one of these, but which is what I was planning on doing with this. But we'll see. We'll see how it works. But I can release this guy and then have room for this one. I don't really feel like building a big 5-banger, unless I come up with some extra stuff. That guy's real expensive. Real nice, or potentially real nice, especially if these two are both in my range. I mean, that'd be amazing. So I'm gonna actually just play the animals. I don't know that I want to give up. So these guys are exactly 16. I don't know that I want to give up an X token for $5. My money is already ahead of these other guys. At least my income is. He'll have more money, but my income's already higher. Let's see. Maybe sell one. Really don't want. I really rather have the utility of the X token than the money at this point. I think. So yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that and not do it. All right, so my income is up to 23, which is pretty serviceable for the second break. And if there isn't a break, then I will certainly grab this building if it's available. I don't want it. A lot of passing. Okay, so there's no break, so I'm just gonna, and I've only got 2 cards, I'm gonna grab a building. I'm gonna grab a bird, I guess. A bird and herbivore are the 2 options for my 5th tag. In general, I prefer the birds, but you know what? Let's undo that. Let's, instead of taking a bird, let's maybe go for a rhino. In hopes of that. The bird, I'm hoping for an eagle, and herbivore, I'm hoping for a rhino, probably. So let's do that. Or I could get an elephant too. I got some money, so it should be all right. Boo! All right, well, it's one I can pitch for 4. No, I can discard to gain 4, so I can pitch it for $4. Okay, fine. I still have my 5th one. All right, so we've got a break. I'm gonna wanna do the build. I can build an extra kiosk, but I don't know where I'm gonna be able to put it. It's got to be at least 3 away from it, maybe up here, but I plan on putting one here, just 3 away from both of these. So let's start with that. We'll just call it the extra one. All right. Build a 2 here. I know it hits on this badly, but again, I need these guys for more than money. I've got this pair thing, so. Let's attach this to him, I guess. And let's build a 1 enclosure here. And that way I can build another one here. Messing up my board, but I've got 4 of the kiosks. I get not much money, but I can grab money when I get this all the way up. Either that or that, depending upon what I need. Alright, so I'll use an X token to play this guy here. I can also discard a sponsor for 4. I'm going to get rid of this thing. I need to get up to there to even put it out, so I don't know that I need that much money. I think I'd rather play this. I can actually put it here, do the clever and grab a card, and I can just clever the cards down. Get closer to my association. Yeah, and that way it only hits that guy, the kiosk once. I think I'm going to take this one. I've got the prerequisite. I don't have a place to put it, but let's get rid of the cards. Is there anything I want to snap? Well, I guess I could snap this monkey, couldn't I? Huh. I'm going to snap the animals down. Or not snap it down, but clever it down. So I'm only going to be playing 1 anyway, so it's not really an issue. And then I can grab this, and then I can play my diversity. Maybe. There we go. Wow, that sucked. Alright, so there's actually 3 cards in the card row I'm interested in. This is certainly intriguing. The issue with this is I've already got 2 that I can do right now. I've got the species diversity at 5 and a release. I would probably be releasing this for space, and that doesn't lose a tag. So I've got 2. I'm 1 monkey away from the monkeys. I could actually do this. I've got this here, but that seems like a bad play. I'm going to lose 6 points to get just 3 green points. That's not very efficient. So I don't need this. I may not end up playing it if I decide to snap it. This is also good. I'd like to have this played and then maybe go after these or whatever. Start moving this up. I'm sitting languishing at 1. And then this. Kiosks are good. Well, I guess I don't need any more kiosks, but I guess ticket booths are good. I've got 4 and 2, and I'm going to be working towards this. So 2 extra ticket booths will get me extra points, and this is a pretty good card anyway. I could even decide, instead of releasing this guy, to release this guy here out of here, again, after I would do species diversity, and then I could drop him here for the extra 2 points. So I think I'm just going to grab a bunch of cards and see what I get. If I get some blue cards, then I can sack them. That I don't like, I can sack them for 4 when I play this or whatever. See what we get. Well, we get a different one. Herbivore. And we could certainly have that. So essentially this is almost the same card as this. This we have ready to go right now. This we should have ready to go later on. We don't have a 2 enclosure to put them in, but that's okay for now. Let's see. Got a lizard. That doesn't really help any. I got a different lizard. Let's see. Snapping. So of these 2, this guy's worth an extra point. This gets me a card, but that's okay. This guy's cheaper. And I've got a 2 right by a rock, so it looks like he's better to keep of these. I could also dump one of these too. I'm not going to dump this guy if I'm keeping this, so that doesn't make any sense. I think this is going to be the one to drop. Again, I can eventually play this thing. Yeah, I think that's good for me. This green tag not useful for right now, so I think this is where I'm going to go. All right, I'm going to do the species diversity. I could very well, release this guy, so I've got a place for this guy, and do either draw this one or draw from the deck, but I don't want to risk anything. It seems unlikely that blue will be able to beat me. He could get 2 tags from this, and he could get, he's got a double one of these, and they have tags, so he could beat me to it, even though he couldn't. We'd have to be playing goofy with the break. I'm also going to want to get one of these 2 things on my next action, so it's going to take a while before I do my next project, so I'm just going to bank these here, make sure I get them. I think I'm going to take the full 12, not worry about the 5, so that way I've got some extra cash to build and whatnot. I'm going to get another 5 from here as well. I probably won't beat red to this, but the other one might be useful. We'll see. All right, so we've got $32, and we've got 2 animals that cost 12 each, so I can spend $8 and still be able to put both of them out. So I think I'm going to put a 2 here, and then I'll do a tickets and a kiosk. I can extra kiosk or whatever. I'm just going to throw it up here. Give me 2 extra spots by it and far enough away. And then I'll throw tickets here probably. No, what? I'll throw it here, and that will, in case I need a 1 by a rock, I'll just put it there either way. Be fine. And I'm at 24, so I'm going to pass. Okay, so the red player jumped up and spent an X token to cause the break. At this point, since I was unable to play the animals to remove them, I think I'm going to dump this one. This one will be part of this. And I mean, this one overall, it's going to be 5 plus 2 is 7. And I get $3 back for this. And if I won't have the Australia tag by then, so but still it's pretty cheap for what it is. And then I'll just have to do the release on this, which will allow me to fill this up again. So not terrible. All right, so I've got an X token and a ton of money, so I think I'm going to play my animals. All right, this gives me a card. I'll do that one first. See what it is. Although I still think I want to do this one, probably regardless of whatever I find. Ugh. All right, well, I'll be able to sell that. I mean, it's a great card if you got pets and can use it, but do this. And Oh, I can't do that, right? I'm going to pass on that. All right. I think I'm just going to dump this for an X token, but I don't get to sell that if I do that. So do I want $9 or an X token is the question. And 5 to the break. Is there something I can do now? Well, I could certainly release this, but I'm not releasing that guy. That's terrible. Let's see. Oh, I think I want to release this one is what I want to do. That's right. That'll free up this spot. What do I want for cards? Looks like we're just going to have another break. If I do that, I'm going to take the X token. I think that makes more sense. Can I not drop it? Oh, I guess I have to do the action. All right. Let's see. All right. I guess I'm doing it. All right, I don't see anything worth snapping. So, I mean, this is pretty good. But I'd rather get multiple cards and see what we get. So, especially going in there after I kick out the other guy. But let's take all three and see what we see. I can release that guy either way, so I probably will use this card to do it. That's not great. Yeah, not real expensive. I don't need a predator tag though. I mean, I can set it up to try to release it there, but I think I'd rather just use this to release and get rid of this guy because I get extra points for this. This seems pretty difficult to do. I need to build a 4 enclosure, put him out, and then I get 5 points, and then if I want to hang around and release it, yeah, that's not great. So I am going to dump this guy. All right, so we are going to do our release, but we're going to release it with this. Predator wants Savannah is what I want. I don't really need the cash. I mean, the income, certainly, I probably would enjoy said income. Is there, you know what? I think I'm just going to snap this guy so that way I can just straight up play him soon. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. do the snap first before I forget, because we're going to be going to the discard a card. So what am I going to discard? I'm going to obviously keep that, so that'll be an easy choice. But I think I'm going to take this guy here. I'm quite a few away to getting an additional guy there. I'm 2 away from getting this. I may not get another guy for the rest of the game. I'm already at 42 points. So this may not help me, but it might. So I'll take it as, if we get back up here somehow, maybe I'll dump this and be able to play it again because I don't have 2 meeples. All right, now we discard. And I will discard this one. So the other one is going to be done, I would guess for sure. I mean, the instant I put out this guy, I can fill it anyway. So, all right, so these 2 animals are going to cost me 28 to play. So I can spend 12. I get a bonus kiosk. I don't know that I'm going to be able to put out 2 kiosks. So first of all, I need to have this. That has to go there. We'll put the extra one here, although, like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to play another one. No. I think I'm all done with kiosks. All right. Well, we can put this... Let me put this here. We'll fill up this hole. And then we'll play just a 1, and we'll fill up this hole and get an X token. This one's at least by a rock, and this one's by nothing other than a kiosk. And we got $5 extra, so we're even, almost pilfer proof, unless it's a double pilfer, I guess. Even so, 6, yeah, even, no, that would have to be 10. Yeah, 10 would be bad. We are able to play our animals. Break only got up to 11. So good for us. Order doesn't matter. Nobody's below me in tickets, so the venom doesn't matter. I'll play it first anyway. Put our bird up in the 3 enclosure. And I will place 2 of the tickets. I'll put certainly 1 here. And I'll fill this other hole. I could put a 2 enclosure there, so I'll fill this other hole. Income up to 42. That's solid. Well, still no break. I would like to get this upgraded, so I'm going to play this and I think grab orange. This one's got an orange as a prerequisite. I don't know that I want to play this animal, but I've got yellow. Anything else is fine. All right. All right, so it is still at 11. I don't have a sponsor to play. I could grab cards. I think that's what I'm going to do. I could build, or I could drop something down for next token. Me breaking may help the red player, although he still needs to, unless he's going to put something right there, he still needs to build and then do that. So maybe I'm saving him a turn. However, the blue player Looks like he's poised to play at least one animal, which will get him a higher income as well. So I think I may just want to do the break. I get an X token, I get a couple cards. I would take a turn I would normally basically do. And I get a snap afterwards, and I can always snap this guy and do a pouch. So that's reasonable. So I think I'm just going to take 2 cards. Of course, my cards are good, and I don't want to pouch them. I don't know. What did I get here? Something I can't use. And what pouch is this? Pouch 1? Probably be pouching this. All right. Well, we'll see. I need to decide my snap. I can't play this at all unless I get a release out of this. It needs to be by a mountain and a 3. I don't have any place to put it. So that's out. This other monkey, not bad. I need to build an enclosure. The pilfer doesn't get anything extra, but that's okay. It does get me another monkey tag, which maybe I'll want. I don't know. I don't know that. I mean, that'll be 2 green at this point. It's 6 points. This is better, and this is the same, so that doesn't matter. I think this guy will. I've already got a spot for him. I have 2 spots for him, in fact. And I get to pouch, which I may, right now I can't even play this. I don't know that I would just. I don't know. It is worth a green. The 2 bump doesn't really help me at this point, so not a huge issue. But I'm going to take my income. I think I'm going to take this guy here. Oh, what is this one here? More appeal? Yeah, that's not useful. So I will snap this guy. And we have a flocking llama. I've got another flocker here, so maybe that'll be in my future. Who knows? So I'm going to do a build. I'm not going to build the extra thing, but I am going to build a 4 enclosure. Yeah, I guess here is fine. Now I can play both animals, sack this, and see how we do. Well, I don't want it to end yet, so I don't want to deal with this. I guess I can get an X token for it. But it looks like the end might be near as far as the break is concerned. And I've got things to do, so I'm going to increase this to a 5. Play my 2 animals. Yeah, sure. Can't do this other thing. Don't want to. Well, I'd like to be able to play it, but I'm not able to. Can't do that, but can play this. I'll put it here by the kiosk. And I will pouch this card. And we're good. All right, let's look at the state of affairs here. We're 4 to the break. The blue player could do it if he wanted to, but that's a lot of X tokens. The red player could, although he hasn't used any of his meeples, so my guess is he probably won't. So I'm going to up this, and I'm going to actually do the release. I was hoping to do geologist, but it's gone. But I guess the release is actually better. It gets me an extra point. No, I don't want to. I don't want to do that release. That release is bad. But if I do release this, what is that? Yosemite Park. Yep. And I'm going to take 3x tokens. I'm just debating between these two to get this filled up quicker. But I think I'll be able to do this on my next action if I so choose. So I'll have 4 of these, and I can just use them all. That'll be on 3, 1, 2, 3, and yeah, that'll work. And I'm going to do the donate in case there is a break. All right, so the blue player did cause the break. We're going to take our income. The card I want to snap is this. It's going to get me, it'll be a 4th Australia tag, so it'll be 4 points when I play it, and I can also tuck a card, so provided I go grab cards first, it's worth 6 points, putting me to 90. All right, I'm going to draw some cards, just to tuck. All right, I got my cards, so I'm able to tuck some stuff. Let's play Australia. I've got 1 more to pouch. So my next action, this will be on 3. No, this doesn't matter. I need to waste a turn before I do this because I want to do the Australia as well as the breeding program. So I'm just going to do a build, get an extra point, get an X token. Money doesn't matter. Can't fill up the board, unfortunately. But we'll put 1 up. I could have put this down, like still can put this down there, but nothing can go there, so I'm not going to finish it. But that's okay. All right, so the red player hit us with a pilfer, which got him just enough money to get a rhinoceros and play a rhinoceros, which got him a standard project card for his hand. Given that he's got 5, I guess he could have done the habitat diversity, but given that he's got 5 of these, he may have opted for that instead. The Americas, but either way, he's going to have something that's going to get him 5 green or 15 points. I can only get 11 if I go out this turn, which gives him a net of 4 on me, which puts us even. Problem is that he's got a green for this, a green for this, and 2 greens for this. All I have is nothing. I do have the full 12 on this. I got all of that. But in just his blue cards, he's got the same amount as I do. So I'm going to opt instead to do a build. To build tickets there, and then when I play the turn that I had planned on doing this turn, I will fill up this and get an additional 7 points, plus I'll put a tickets there for the 8th. So I'll have 8 more points. It'll give me a chance, although if he's got at least 3 green on his card, he wins. He'll win by a point with 3. He'll win by 4 if he's got all 4. There's not much I can do about it. I guess I needed to give him those the money, because if I lose this card, that's terrible, and if I lose this card, I can't fix it. So yeah, that's not ideal, but in hindsight, I would have taken back the 5 and risked it and just done this method anyway, and hope that he took this one instead of this one, because this is my only. Well, I mean, I can play this, but this doesn't get me much. So yeah, that gets me 3 green, but I lose 6. It's a net 3 points. That isn't much. All right. At any rate, I got to do this. On the plus side, there shouldn't be a break. So he's able to do this and shouldn't get much else, because he's going to need both of these guys to do the project. He won't have an extra meeple to get any more of this stuff. So we should be okay. Again, it's going to come down to what his brown card is. All right, I'm not sure. The red player took cards, dug a couple cards out of there, but then took cards. Unless, yeah, I don't see any possibility that the break happens before his turn. So I don't know what that was. But I think either way, he was going to get his one turn with the association. So I don't know. Anyway, what do I have to do here? I want to get this Australia tag for a pouch. So I need 8 total. I'm at 4. I need to give 4. Yeah, this one doesn't give me as much. Gives me only a net of 3 points. This one gives me a net of 6. We have to do this one so we can fill up our board. Doesn't matter. I'm not getting another turn. Take partner zoo. Let's do this. Make a pouch. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the 5. If I could have, I would have had the additional X tokens at the start of my turn to also do 2 rep, which would have got me this. Well, it gets me nothing, so never mind. But I will donate. Puts us to 110. again, he should have 15 points for this. He won't be able to donate. He doesn't have the money for that. Oh, well, he can give another 5. That's 10. I guess he can. He can donate. So he can get 18 points. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to win this. I think Red's got it. He's got so many points here. So many points on the board. Unless he does some... I don't know. It looks like he should have it. The game ended up taking 32 turns, or 33 for the red player, who had gone first. I was a little surprised by this until I saw the final game situation with the red player. He had the Architectural Zoo, which at the time of his last turn he had no points for, which I basically needed something like that to happen. Also, there was an error that he made. He placed his 2 enclosure from his last project here, which broke up one of his 6 groups for the chicken. So he did get the point for this, but then lost it for this. If he had put it here, connecting this mountain, he would have 3 more points, and at 117. We still won either way, but yeah, he wasn't going to connect this. Maybe he thought he was connecting these with this last water, not realizing that he didn't have this water. And thought he was getting 2, maybe. I'm not sure. Or didn't recognize exactly how the native farm animals work. Not sure, but again, it was a matter of just 3 points, and our victory was 8, so it should have been only 5. If he had had a better card, he beats us. So that's how this came down. I still, like, given the circumstance, given that he had the rhinoceros and it was basically $1 short of being able to play it when he pilfered me. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if I know he's got it, that I give him a card. I did go through some of the videos, and I didn't see the rhinoceros on the card road any point, but it could have come out when the blue player was playing, and then he snapped it up as the next turn. I don't pay attention really to what the opponents do on their given turns in this sort of format, and this game took 12 days online, so took a while. Like, that sort of thing, if it happens at the table and I see it get snapped, then I can make a mental note of that the red player has it, and maybe I can remember what it costs, so I know that I need to give him one of those cards instead and lose a couple points. But at any rate, good game, very close. Like I said, I thought Red had it, but maybe he'll get us next time. We'll propose a rematch and give it a go.